Madam Chairman, I move that the board approve Ms. Kimberly Hill to a 4-year term as superintendent starting July 1, 2013.
That means that we now have a new superintendent, and it is Ms. Kimberly Hill. Now,
you know, it's a great job. I don't think I really understood the expanse of the job. I think, you know, I had studied it, I had talked over and over again with Mr. Richmond about the responsibilities, but I don't think I really understood it until you sit in that chair. I've really enjoyed learning a lot about things that I didn't previously have experience with, like elementary education. We have a whole planning and construction staff and a whole supporting services staff that do such key, important work, and I've enjoyed learning about. The other fun part is being able to represent Charles County Public Schools in areas outside of education. You know, whether it's going to a Kiwanis meeting or a Rotary meeting or a Charles County Retired Teachers Luncheon. I didn't really think about that either, and that's been a nice byproduct of, because it gives me the opportunity to go out and really, you know, frankly brag about the good things that we do.
What interesting things are you guys discovering with your experiments on board the ISS in space?
Oh, there's a lot of interesting things going on here at any time.
The day that 20 Charles County Public School students got to speak live to an astronaut on the International Space Station was a milestone. That was STEM education at its best. I mean, you talk about an authentic experience for children, and being able to reach out to an astronaut and to become interested in science and math and technology through that experience was huge. We did that. Our children did that, and our staff made that happen. And we are a school district that looks forward and looks outside of itself to bring experiences to our students that are really once-in-a-lifetime kind of things. First of all, graduation is the culmination of all of these years of work, not just on the part of the student, but on the part of that student's family. And there are ways we could bring it back to Charles County with the input of families and principals and students, and make it a homegrown event. Secondly, though, the Showplace Arena, which is the arena where we had graduations, changed its paradigm in that we were going to have fewer graduations per day, and we were going to have to spread graduations out over several days, which would impact project graduation as well as other things. So I think the culmination of those two things are what led me to the decision. I can tell you, though, that whether Showplace would have done its thing or not, my goal was to bring Charles County graduations back to Charles County. You know, when I became superintendent, Mr. Richmond had done so much in the field of STEM, but I had much more of an interest in computer science. So I thought to myself, how can we infuse the computer science aspect of STEM with all of the good things we're already doing? Joe Greenewalt, Diane O'Grady-Cuniff, Janet Bondalid, who were teaching computer science in our school district already. And they said, hey, here's an idea, here's a pathway. And they actually introduced me to the folks at code.org. Now we are moving forward K through 12. Every child in our school district is going to have an experience with computer science. What this does is it infuses computer science thinking skills K through 12. All of our students are going to come out of their experience in Charles County with critical thinking skills, the ability to take apart a problem, the ability to think logically, and that's powerful. That's powerful in the world that we're walking into.
Okay, hi, I'm Amy Holstein. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Instruction. So in this job, I make lots of decisions about high school. So I figured if I'm going to be making decisions for you guys, I need to understand.
Amy Holstein, who is a trained elementary educator and then an elementary school principal, walking into a chemistry class at McDonough High School and having the courage to stand in front of those students and teach a chemistry lesson was amazing. The whole idea of those of us who are over here making decisions for the whole school district, we need to be able to say to our principals and to our teachers, we've been there and we've done that, and we're still there and we're still willing to do it. So modeling is In my way of thinking, walking the walk. You know, a lot of folks can talk the talk and they can say, we're going to support you, we're going to provide you this, we're all in this together kind of thing. But we want to show that we are out there with you in classrooms every day. So there are many days when you won't see our cars in the parking lot here because we start our days in schools.
Being translucent. Yeah, so it is. It's a positive result.
You know, the whole idea with Common Core is that we've raised the standards. And I know there is some controversy around whether Common Core is a good thing or a bad thing, and I think part of my job is to say, absolutely, it's a great thing. These standards are something that is making our service to kids, the education we provide to kids, better. Same thing with teacher and principal evaluation. The nice thing that I think we have in Charles County is that we have such a great relationship with our Education Association, the EACC, in that we sat down with them at a table in the room next door and we said, look, this is where we are with this accountability piece, and how can we work together to come to an agreement that is good for teachers and is good for kids, yet also meets these outside standards coming down from the state and from the federal government. The goal of teacher evaluation is to improve instruction. And if instruction isn't improving, then we're not supporting it in the right way. We need to find a better way to support it so that instruction improves. This is a big job, and it's a job I take very seriously. Usually by about 7 o'clock I'm here or on my way to a school. And then the day it runs the gamut between phone calls from folks who want to know this or that about what's going on in the school district, issues with employees, decision making that needs to be done, meetings about future programming for instruction. I don't want to be isolated in this suite of offices. I want to be out understanding what's going on in our school district. If we don't keep our touch on what's happening in the classroom, then we cannot be effective leaders at this level. We cannot. We need to be able to model. We need to be able to walk the walk. We need to establish that credibility with the people who are doing the important work. And the people doing the important work are the people in schools.
All right.
Way to go. Morning.